There we go. Welcome, attendees. Ace is already on. Carolyn Johnson, Debbie, Rod Kuntz, Roxanne, Sarah Strable. They're all coming on. Welcome to the call, everyone. I know we missed y'all Monday. You know, it's Memorial Day weekend, Monday. You know, we got to have pay respects to those in the military that we've lost. So again, thank y'all for, if you're in the military families, we just want to thank you for your service as always. You know, you don't go unrecognized for what you do and the sacrifices that you and your families make. We get it. We thank you. Because of y'all, we can have our freedoms to be able to do calls like this, to be able to build companies like Prime My Body. It's exciting times with what we have coming up. I know everybody's ready for next weekend. We have our San Antonio event. Bree will be there. Lori will be there. Kevin and Becky will be there. Everybody will be there. I hope you will too. I hope you're still thinking. I believe we might have about 20 tickets left. If I'm guessing out loud right now, because I know we've brought in an extra probably 10 people. Bree just got her ticket today. Bree will be on stage with everybody, representing the millennials. Her and Trey will be hosting it. Yeah, we got some fun stuff lined up for everybody out here. So really excited to get this thing started. Again, text y'all's people, let them know that we're on for 180. I know there was a bunch of questions happening. So let's we'll start from the beginning to the end. We'll start for those that maybe just loaded, maybe you're about to load. Kevin, you want to kind of hit on that? And Kevin, great seeing you. I know, man, I feel like I haven't seen you in so long. Like we do this twice a week.
Miss, like, wow, yeah, miss a meeting and it's like, where'd everybody go? I'm going through withdrawals. Yeah. So.
And you're on, what week are you on right now?
Well, we actually have had, we are actually just, I know it sounds like a broken record, Jonas. Well, we just started, we actually finished loading today because we've just had so many family things coming up and it's just, we're like, you know what? We got to put it off. So we're actually going to be on program while we travel to Texas, while we're at the event. So those who want to know why we're there, you know, how do we do this while you travel? We can talk to you then because it's not easy, but we're at the point where like, you know what, we just got to do it now or it's never going to happen. So we'll be going through, Jonas, I'll be finishing up Hell Week right as I show up to conference. So if I'm a little edgy when I'm there, that's why. I'm just finishing up week 1 on the program. Get some of this fluffiness. That's why I look so puffy. I'm just finishing my 3rd day of loading and I want to die. It's just like, what in the heck am I doing to my body? So I'm starting tomorrow no matter what, just because I don't think I'll make day 4 if I load again, my body will just stop.
So you're loading. What if people are just loaded, if they're about to load, how do they load? Why do they load? And then how do they transition into week 1 or otherwise known as Hell Week?
That's a 30-minute topic, but I'm gonna condense it down really short here. And in the Cliff Notes version of this, think of your body as broken and unbroken. A broken body will store fat abnormally. So we talk about this as the cellulite, the lumpy, bumpy surface fat, but this also can be a term that gets thrown around on these calls a lot, which is visceral fat, which is in, through, and around your body, muscles, organs, and tissues. And when a body is broken and you eat extra calories that you don't burn that day, your body stores in a way or locks it away where you can't really go burn it. So Jonas, you've been in the gym forever. I've been around gyms. I like gyms. I think they're a great place to exercise and get your body fit, but not a great place to lose weight. And the reason why is when you go and start reducing calories, increase your activity level, the body starts burning the structural and normal fat reserves, and that abnormally stored fat, the cellulite, those stubborn pockets, the visually surface fat that we don't love doesn't go away. And so even people who are successful at shrinking themselves down, they shrink their bodies in the same shape they are. Those stubborn areas stay stubborn, just a little bit smaller. When you're loading, what we're doing here, the goal, and so anybody who's getting ready to do this and maybe you're hesitant or a little skeptical about this concept, we're overwhelming the body with fat calories in a very short, condensed period of time, making it impossible for the body to store all that fat abnormally. It forces your body to restore that fat in the structural and normal fat reserves. That's the key. The better you get your normal and structural fat reserves built back up and ramp up your metabolism, which will happen automatically to keep up with that influx of calories, the faster and better and easier your body's going to release the weight over the 30-day protocol. When I get people calling me up and they're struggling on the system, I would say probably upwards of 80% of the time it's because they did not load correctly. And even though you're still going to see some good results and you're still going to lose weight and detox, you don't get to go back and reload in the middle of the program. So you get one shot each program to load and load right. And so what you want to do, Jonas, to load correctly is prepare. You can't load on the fly. Take 2 days when you can focus on it, not at work. Go to the store, plan out your menu. You need about 350 fat grams of fat a day. And that's correct. You heard me right. 350 fat grams per day. That's a lot of fat grams. And about 8,000 on a minimum to about 12,000 in calories. Both of those together are important. And you'd think they go hand in hand, but you'd be surprised that people can get 350 fat grams in and only about 4,000 calories. So you need to get both of those things in there over the 2 days. And like we're doing an actual third day of loading because I actually messed up my first day of loading. Doesn't matter that I know how to do this program. It doesn't matter that I know all the tips and tricks. If you mess up, you mess up. I didn't get the loading done on day 1 like I should have. So I had to recommit on day 2 and day 3, get the loading finished. And Jonas, as people on this call, we're going to already heard before the call, some of the stories, and we hear all the time. You're going to see the results if you'll trust that process, if you'll actually just commit yourself to loading. And trust me, if you say I like loading, I can tell you you're doing it wrong. you say you like it, you're doing it wrong. And I don't care how healthy you eat or unhealthy you load. It's not going to be fun either way if you're doing it right. So that's loading in a nutshell, Jonas. I know that's a compact thing in there, but just keep in mind we're restoring that structural normal fat reserve. That's the key. We got to get that up if we want our body to let go of that surface fat, the cellulite and the visceral fat in, through, and around our muscles, organs, and tissues.
Yeah, definitely. Lori, you've done this protocol twice now. You're down over 34 pounds ish and some change. How did you load? And then I want to talk about that. And then how was your week 1s? Did you go through Hell Week? What did you do? What were those days like? How did you come out of those, and how did you feel afterwards?
So I have to say that the first round, I loaded really poorly, to be super honest. And it was just because I was rushed, and I had a weekend planned when we were all, because I was in the beta group. So I had a really short time to decide what we were going to do. And so I was with a friend, and so I ate a lot of cheese those 2 days, but I could have done a lot better. So then the second round, I was like all excited about loading with like getting the fat in. And what I've come to realize, and I've been training my people that come on, it's like a 3-legged stool. You have to have the fat grams, you have to have the calories, and you have to gain the 5 pounds, or your stool's not going to be very comfortable for those 30 days when you have to sit on it. So I feel like I just keep getting better at the loading aspect. Yeah. So in Hell Week, I was pretty well fat adapted, keto adapted. So I didn't go through a lot of the detox symptoms that people go through. I had some headaches, but not right away, because our fat stores toxins. And so as we're releasing that, our body's releasing that too. And so I felt really lucky, and I feel really guilty when I have to coach people through the Hell Week, because I know it's hard. I know it's really hard. I did that a while ago. So
it's a get through it type of week.
Yeah, that's all it is. Do the tricks, electrolytes, binders, ibuprofen or Tylenol.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Yeah, it's called Hell Week for a reason. And Laura, you look amazing. 30. What's the total now? 30 what?
What do I have? 34.8 cents between the 2 rounds. This last round was about 18, and this one was around 17.
How you feeling?
I feel amazing. And Jonas, you know my story. I did this because I had autoimmune, and I was barely functioning. I really couldn't hardly get out of bed, and I didn't want to go on. And so I feel like I have my life back, and I'm super, super stoked. So, and I'm the 56-year-old postmenopausal woman that can't lose weight. So if that's you out there, it can be done.
Yeah, we don't live life with borders and barriers. We break those here at Prime My Body, because once the body understands what it's supposed to do, it will do it. But if you're always following gimmicky things and this and that, no, let me take, this powder, or let me do that, and that's all I got to do. guys, I'm going to tell you, it's a lie. I just had a 69-year-old lady come in my office today. She said, I don't want to go to a doctor because he's going to give me pills. I'm not bashing any medical here, but what do most physicians practice? Western medicine, meaning that's reactive medicine, not preventative medicine. And she goes, I want to come here. And as I'm showing her the book, she goes, this is what I wanted. I wanted real food. This is the protocol that I want to do. 69 years old. She's like, you know what? This is what I have to do. So when you look at that, Lori, 50, that's middle age, 60 is middle age. You know, there's no, oh, I'm on the last. No, you're not. I mean, I'll talk a lot more about this in San Antonio, but that's middle age. This is where we can still get our life back right here. And you're seeing your body do it. You know, when you were told, oh, you have autoimmune issues. Oh, your age. Oh, everybody gave you barriers that you literally just crushed with your health, with your wellness, with your body. I mean, look at you. I'm like, who's the younger sister over here? Who's Lori's younger twin sister over here?
I'll pay you later, Jonas. Okay.
Thank you. Venmo, Cash App, however. All good. Miss Bree, you crushed it. You just finished. You put up your story. Why did you want to do this protocol? If you want to share your story a little bit, why did you want to do this protocol? How was loading in week 1 for you, that hell week?
Yeah. So my sister, if y'all know her, Ray Beverly, she was the one who started it first. And I just wanted to watch her through it because I was like, this is crazy. Like the amount of weight you're losing, is this healthy? Is this okay? I have so many questions. And so just seeing her process through it all, I was just amazed, and how she was just like the personality change. And when I came into it, I was in a very like dark place that I've ever been in my life. And just my sister coming to me and offering this program, I was like, you know what, it worked for you. Hopefully it works for me. I know we're different body types, and I've already done like these crazy diets and they've never worked out. So so that's kind of what got me into it. I was just in a really dark spot, and I was like, you know what, I need to make a change. I've already gotten this far, so let me make a change. Let me give it the best shot I've got. And I did it all 30 days. I didn't cheat. By the 3rd day, I was already seeing results, and I was just feeling better about myself and the energy I was having. The hell week was, sadly, I'm sorry, it just wasn't that big of a hell week for me. I was already kind of more self-conscious about the food I was eating. But I was working out too, and it just wasn't going anywhere. But anyways, it was the first, let's start with the loading day. I'll start with that. The 2 days it took me, it was so crazy. I've had meat sweats. Felt like I could just roll around anywhere. It was just, Jonas told me to eat a pack of bacon. I was like, I don't know. I don't think so. But I did it. And then I shoved down the fattest Monterey melt from Whataburger. If you're from Texas, that was it. I ate that, like 10 avocados, lots of cheese, smoothies, ice creams. I did it all, and it was difficult. That was the hardest part, I think, of this whole part for me. The first 2-3 days, I had like a mental challenge with myself. It was a lot of me saying like, no, I can't do this. I can't eat this little portion twice a day. I was like, that's crazy. I'm gonna die. Like, I just want to eat, the slices of cheese in my fridge, and I want to eat my eggs and toast and everything. And it was just kind of like getting over that mentally. And by the 3rd day, I already saw the 5 pounds that I loaded drop off, plus an extra pound. And I wasn't feeling the hunger pains. I didn't get any like real side effects too much. It just clicked for me, and I started feeling better, and I was like, I like this. I told my body, I was like, I actually feel good. I have the energy for this, and the food is actually tasty, and I feel satisfied. Like I'm getting what I need, and I can move forward with my day, and I don't have to concern myself either about what I have to eat, which was great, because I know like in the morning, if I missed a meal, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to just pack it on. What am I going to make for breakfast? What am I going to make for lunch? What am I going to make for dinner? And so I liked also the simplicity of it, and I could do more things with my day. But that was my hell week. It was 3 days. But yeah.
Bree, I want to look at this. Did you see your back? Sure you did. It's yours, but look at that. And then now it's kind of
I didn't even notice until I put those 3 pictures side to side. Like when I saw all 3 of those pictures, it was the day I put those pictures together, and I just was like, "Whoa, okay, I need to share this."
Yeah. So who was this person, and who is this person?
Oh my gosh. So me on the far right, it was just a beaten down emotional person. I just was in a really bad place. I was in a bad relationship, and I just got out of one. It was a very emotionally and physically abusive relation. This is the first time I've ever really came public with this story, just because it helped me get to where I am now, and it pushed me to actually do this for myself. But it was rough. I was in a dark place. I was very unhappy with myself. I had low energy. I just really didn't have a good outlook on life. I was very depressed, and just sad. It was a hard thing to come out of. But I felt that if I made that decision, if I was strong enough and determined enough to make that decision, I could do this program and just see what comes out of it, just from being in the community and seeing everyone say that not only do they have this physical change, they have this mental change, this mental detox, is what I like to say. And so now, being this person on the far left, like, it was just, I took those 30 days, and I just got a great understanding of my strength, my worthiness, of what I lost from the far right picture, which I didn't have. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel like any value at all in myself. And now I'm just like determined, energized, motivated, confident, very confident. I love that now. Like, I'll just like throw on some clothes. I was like, I look good. I feel good. But yeah, honestly, a complete 180 of the person I was then to the person I am now. Even in my personality, so different. I don't know if you could tell in those pictures, the far right one, I just was like, I didn't have a good posture. I didn't have a good, I wasn't smiling. I just looked, defeated. Versus the far left, look at me, I'm smiling. I didn't even know. I didn't plan that at all. Like, I just look like I feel happier and better. And I do. Like, it just radiates. I don't even mean to.
Yeah, that's the best. I mean, seeing your smile right now, just hearing how much more confidence you have.
Yeah.
That's what all of this does. It's not, yes, the look is one thing, but again, in the soul, you raise the spirits, the body follows.
Yeah.
Now you can look at the body, because that's all people can see. Kind of same thing with our hemp. People can't really see the difference, but we can feel it and we can talk about it. But now we have that visual aspect to the business where we say, look, we are literally priming our body. So now as we can help the body detox and flush some of that excess fat out and those excess toxins out of the body. This is how we get the body to start to feel better, so that when we do start taking all the other supplements that we have, from the core to the focus to the shield, that your body will actually absorb it a lot better. That's what we look for. I always say the old adage is, you are what you eat. And I say that's completely false. You are what you absorb, digest, and assimilate. And if you're not careful, you become what you do not eliminate. This is an eliminative diet. This is where we can start flushing everything out. It's not about adding something else and adding this and adding that. If you go look around, go to any wellness, most wellness offices, most nutrition offices, it's always, let's add something else. Let's add this. Oh, you should add this herb. You should add this supplement. You should add this amino. You should add this phytonutrient. How about if we just start over from ground zero? Because the clay that we're trying to mold right now, it's not molding the same way we want. Let's scratch it. Let's get the body to heal itself again. Then we can start methodically adding certain things. And that's where the maintenance really comes in. And that's where the maintenance is fun, because now that you look better, now that you feel better, now that, like Kevin says, your body is unbroken, this is where the body can start to heal itself. So if y'all have any questions, make sure you hit us up in the Q&A right here. Do we continue drinking a gallon of water during maintenance? I'll never say that a gallon of water is bad. Keep drinking a gallon of water. It's great, I think, because it just helps the lymphatic system move. When you come to San Antonio, y'all are going to see we're going to launch a brand new type of water that will help your body hydrate a little bit better. I don't know what all I can say right now. Hydrate better, flush your lymphatic system a little bit more, give your body better cellular communication. We'll focus on a lot of these things here in San Antonio. And that product will be something very good for everybody that's going to be starting the protocol and or going into maintenance. Help the body detox the bad stuff. Help the lymphatic system. I always call that the garbage, right? Your blood's the groceries. Lymphatic system's the garbage. We want to make sure we have good groceries. We want to make sure we're flushing out the garbage. Sound fair enough if we bring that back to the house? So Bree, thank you so much for that. Lori, thank you so much for that. Let's move on. Kevin, weeks 2, week 3, now that people are getting into the groove, what can they start looking forward to? I always say week 2 is when, at the end of week 2 is when you finally start to notice yourself, your physical features really take shape. Week 3, we kind of get in the hypothalamus, and we'll kind of touch on those 2 real quick, and then we'll go and do the maintenance, because I know there's still a lot of questions about maintenance. So Kevin, you want to hit on week 2, week 3 and touching into maintenance?
Yeah, so and a note on, we call week 1 a hell week. Don't let that scare you, especially if you're getting ready to start the program. We address that because a lot of people do go through some level of removal as you take toxins out of your diet, or if you are somebody who relies on food for comfort food types things, that can be a challenge. And we even heard Bree, you were just talking about, hey, hell week wasn't that bad, but you talked about some of the emotional things that you went through. And so think of week 1, maybe a better term instead of hell week is detox week, right? It's a week that we really start to shed, like Jonas says, let's get back to zero, right? And expose some of these things. So what's going to happen as we go forward in week 2, after we've shed all that stuff, is we start to hit our pace, our stride. This is where we start to find out how simple and easy this is. You're getting into the habits. If you're preparing your food ahead of time, for example, I always tell people when I'm doing this program, at a minimum on your weekend, whatever your weekend is, you make your week's worth of food ahead of time. It doesn't take very long. It takes about a half an hour to make 7 days worth of food. If you just are prepping stuff on the weekend, it takes me about 2 hours to make the food I need for almost the entire program. And I freeze stuff in the freezer. I put some stuff in the fridge. The point being is, in week 2, when you're doing that, you don't even have to think. Coming home and it's like, what am I having? I'm having this protein, this vegetable, this fruit. You pull it out, make it however you want, or if it's already made or whatever, and you hit your stride. And so you start to feel better. You're starting to feel younger. You're starting to feel more energized. People week 2 are noticing that they're going to sleep when they're supposed to, not falling asleep in the chair 2 hours early. They're finding that they're waking up 3 or 4 minutes before their alarm clock goes off in the morning. It's not sluggish to get up, and that's happening week 2. Week 3 and week 4, as you transition into those, is when the overall weight loss tends to slow down a little bit week to week. Each week you see a little bit less than the week before normally, but you see the inches shrinking faster. So as the weight loss kind of decreases over the 30 days, the inches are increasing towards the end. And so you vacuum pack your body down. So week 3 and week 4 is really when you see a lot of the visual impact start to come into play. And so it's real important when you're 50% through the program, starting week 3 and week 4, that you don't get lazy. Don't get slack. Don't fall into the laziness of, I'm just going to have this one cheat on this item. Jonas, we haven't talked about this very much, but the program all the way through after loading till the day 30 is all about balance. Okay. So I teach clients, like, it's like, this is a pen, like a pen for sewing. and I've got a flat plate on top of it. It's all about balance. When you cheat, it throws your body out of balance, and that balance swings around for about 3 to 5 days, not losing weight, doing everything perfect until it finally balances back out and you start losing weight again. So I'll get people calling me who are frustrated. Hey, I'm doing everything perfect. I always ask the phrase when somebody says that, I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Like, okay, you're doing everything perfect, but you're not losing weight, which means you're not doing everything perfect. You might be trying to do everything perfect, and you might not have intentionally cheated, but there's something not perfect. Otherwise, your results would be perfect. And sometimes that's emotional. Sometimes it's physical. And so I bring these things up because if you're emotionally stuck, what are you unwilling to let go of? Okay. Jonas talked about this with JT. Anybody who was on the beta alpha calls, that was a big point where JT was stuck. And Jonas like, what are you holding on to? What aren't you letting go of? What are you staying and holding on to right there? And so JT was able to let go of a lot of emotional things, and his weight loss took off again. And so when you guys do those little cheats, when you fall off the program, don't go to, oh my gosh, I messed up, I'm quitting, I got to start over. Don't go there. You're still having a great system. Just own the fact that when you do a cheat, it's going to take you 2 to 4 days to start losing weight again. Don't get frustrated during that time. That is the result you're getting from the benefit of that little tiny cheat, that cookie or that soda or whatever you decided to eat. That's the result. Okay. You're still detoxing. You're still emotionally eliminating. You're still learning things about yourself. You're still putting your body in a better position. So weeks 3 and 4, the reason I say that is it's really easy to get lazy in weeks 3 and 4 when the weight loss is slowing down and go, oh, that cheat didn't really hurt me. And it really is affecting your overall results as you come through weeks 3 and weeks 4. And those are the weeks where you actually start to feel 5 or 6 years younger every week. By the end of the program, the typical person that I coached says, I feel anywhere from 15 to 20 years younger. That's the typical phrase that comes out of people's mouths. Now, if you're only 20, that's probably not going to be the case. They say, I feel 20 again. But if you're like me and you're up in your 50s, 20 years younger is a big step back to my 30s. And so that's, where we feel. So Jonas, fill in the gaps that I've missed there, but I really want to help create that image in everybody's mind that's on here, that's listening, understanding the totality of the system, and to not allow a mistake to derail your program, because that's what we see from people. If I made a mistake, now I'm not perfect, now I'm not going to have the good results, I'll just quit. Just make sure that doesn't enter into your program, and focus on the entire aspect, not just the number on the scale.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you said the balance portion. Too many of us, our balance is off, our pH is off, especially those of y'all that like to work out all the time. Oh, I got to work out. When we work out, what does that do? It boosts that cortisol level. And so that's more your stress hormone. So if we're boosting that stress hormone, that means the body isn't really allowed to flush anything else out. So kind of be careful with everything that we're doing, because if you're doing a little bit too much, you're not going to see the right results. And if those are, I'm doing everything perfect. If you're this intent about weight loss, I can tell you're probably not going to lose weight. Because remember what I just talked about with Bree. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we stay in balance. We want that homeostasis. We want that ease. We want that body to feel free. But if I think the same thing. But I'm doing everything perfect. Kevin, when I see that, I'm like, oh man, okay. There's something that we just have to get over, because it's just slow down a little bit. Slow down. Just listen to your body. Talk to your buddy. We talk about the buddy system in here. Get those questions answered. Because a lot of times what we're doing is we're off a little bit mentally. So we're not helping the soul. We're not helping the spirit. We're obviously not helping the body. Because if you're so gung-ho on what you got to do, and I got to have this, and when do I take my vitamins? Well, when do I take my, this, or but I think I missed. If your cortisol levels, if your stress hormone is fired up all day long to do that, you're not going to lose weight. Just relax. Guys, you know how many times I forgot to take my drops before lunch? Okay. Forgot before dinner? Oh, okay. Let me take them again. That's all you got. Keep the body in a state of vibration. Is it going to absorb better before? Sure. Do we still want it in the body if you forget? Absolutely. So many of us are so quick to throw the towel in. Oh, I messed up. Like Kevin said, Oh, should I start over? Oh, do I need to do it? No, just keep going. It's fine. Oh, Jonas, I messed up over late or Memorial Day weekend. That's fine. Get back on the horse and let's ride. Kevin, you have your hand up. Did you want to ask something else?
Yeah, actually, somebody asked a question in the Q&A, and before we jumped into maintenance or any of that, I was just going to address that. And the question is one that comes up a lot. It's important. They were saying they're getting ready to start the program. This particular person is in menopause and taking supplementation, and the question was asked, do I need to stop my supplements? What I tell people is if you have something you're taking that is prescribed by your physician or healthcare person that you work with, you never stop those things. If you're taking supplementation that's just your own, hey, I went and I researched and I got stuff and I'm taking it, you certainly can stop that for the first week of the program and then start taking it on weeks 2 and on, because you can really see if it's affecting your weight loss. But you never stop medication. You never stop things that you're prescribed by a healthcare professional. You don't ever stop. Your health is first and foremost, always with the 180 system. You do your health first. The program is secondary. And so what a great thing is about menopause on this program is designed to balance the body and balance hormones. And so just because it's huge detox. And so oftentimes you'll find that hot flashes, things like that will actually minimize, go away, or be stifled quite a bit as you lose the weight and do this. So anyways, Jonas, I just want to answer that question, make sure we got that before we got too far down the road for that. So hopefully anybody on this call has that question. And the reason why we say if you're taking other supplements to stop them is that balance that I just talked about. Supplementation off the shelf, a lot of those can be synthetic. They can have different fillers in them, and those things can actually augment the balance of the body, slowing down your weight loss. And you won't know that until you get to week 2, where your weight loss is consistent day after day. And that's why we say week 2 is when you introduce those things back in. And if your weight loss stops over the next day or 2, take those things back out if those are self-prescribed optional things that you're taking. So that's all, Jonas. I didn't want to stop. You were on a great roll, so that's why I just raised the hand. I'm like, I don't want you to stop until you get to that stopping point. So
all good. So going back to pH, I don't know if any of y'all have seen this. I'm sure some of y'all have, maybe some of you haven't. But when Kevin talks about bringing the body back into balance, when we at Prime My Body talk about bringing the body back into a state of homeostasis, what do we want? We want the body to be about 7.4 right here, 7.365 in your pH level. So what are we doing? We're having a lot of fruits and veggies and a little bit of protein. So for some of y'all that say, oh, but I want my coffee is a 4.0 on the acidity scale. Here's what I think is really important. It takes 20 parts alkalinity to neutralize 1 part acidity. So you're saying I need 20 of these to equal 1 of these. Well, why can't I have coffee? But I heard coffee was good. It takes your body out of pH balance. What we're trying to do, we do urine analysis. We see pH levels all the time. Rarely do I see somebody at 7.4 or above. Rarely. Most times, everybody's around a 5 or a 6. Sometimes as low as even 4. So what we want to do is make sure that we keep the body alkaline. We want that alkaline state. So when you look, okay, raw spinach, that's one of the things that we can have. Celery, you're looking at some of these asparagus. What are these really, really high pH foods that we can have that are on the list? Again, there's others that aren't on our list because our list has been made over 25 years of what is the most effective, right? Most lettuces, all the greens that you can have. When you start getting into these levels, this is how we want that pH level to be up. So if you haven't seen this, you can just type in like pH food scale online and go to Google and you can see this, but kind of look at some of these foods. So again, 20 parts alkalinity, 20 parts of these to neutralize 1 part. Let's not even get down to 3.0, 2.3 for those of y'all that were drinking sodas, coming into this protocol. Yeah, there's some bad stuff that happens down here. So I want y'all to kind of Google that, learn it, understand what your body likes and doesn't like, understand your strong organs, understand your weak organs. Talk to your parents, talk to your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents. What did they have a family history of? What was given to you? This is all how we can learn our body even more. And so when we get back in that state of balance, that's when the body goes, okay, I can lose, right? I can flush, I can detox. But if we're not in that state of balance and we're in that high cortisol state of stress, well, I got to eat here. I have my alarm set. I got to do this. You're never allowing your body to just be. Remember, we talk about the human doing versus the human being. We don't have many human beings these days on this earth. Everybody has to do this, has to do that, has to do this. I told somebody that and I said, when can you go back to just being a human being? When did you just be? And the response was, well, then what would I do? You know, this is how we be. You just be. This is one of the things where you slow down. You know, as we fast like this, a lot of it's for just getting back into that state of, like they say, fasting is kind of like mourning, right? You're mourning the death of the toxins that are flushing out of the body. You're mourning that death of those past relationships. You're mourning the death of those that past toxicity. Your body's flushing out, so you can just be. When I do this protocol, the amount of books that I can read, because I'm like, I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to listen to the radio. I just want to be. And it feels so good just to hear silence and to sometimes just be, you know, and hey, I can be in my own world. So as we get to weeks 2, 3, 4, now we go into maintenance, and we'll kind of wrap up here and we'll hear from Lori and Bree one more time. Maintenance. We've talked about the total daily exercise expenditure. I know I got hit today by Petra. I see she's on the call. When we do the total daily exercise expenditure, that TDEE calculator, tdeecalculator.net. If y'all haven't been to it, go to it, check it out. So what you do is you have your basal metabolic rate. That's a lot of times it's like whatever you weigh, add a 0 to it. So if I weigh 240, that means on average, my BMR should be about 2,400 calories. That means my body will be burning 2,400 calories for me sitting still. So the question was, well, then what if I go work out and I burn 300, 500 calories? Well, that's why you put your exercise levels in: light, moderate, or heavy. That is your total. And then down on the bottom, you can hit the cutting tab, because you don't want to go oh, well, Jonas, but I heard as long as calories in are less than calories out, then I can lose weight. There is a little bit of truth there. But if my body needs 3,000 calories, but I go, oh, well, then let me just eat 1,000 without taking Vibe or anything else, my body will go into a state of starvation. We have to play with these. We have to flirt with these, figure out what your body likes. I always say, don't go less than 20% from what you should be burning, because then we can flirt with that line of 20% less. If you go 50%, 75% less than what you're supposed to have, you're not going to make it, right? Try and go on a family vacation and say, okay, we need 20 gallons of gas to get there. Let's just fill up with 5. Good luck. Your car will pull over to the side of the road. The body doesn't. The body goes, all right, let's go into starvation mode. Let's go into saving everything. Whatever Jonas eats, we're going to hang on to it. We're going to store it here. We're going to store it there. And then I look down 3 months, 6 months later and go, what the heck happened? What happened in 2020? That was me right there. What the heck is going on? So that's the transitions that we want to have for going into maintenance. So Lori, talk to us about your transition into maintenance. Obviously, you're transitioning back into maintenance again. Are you in the maintenance protocol?
Tomorrow starts 3A, and I've been helping other people through this. But guys, it is in the book. There is the QR code on page 30. I just went over this with someone today. There's a menu there. I even just Googled 1,600 calorie diet for this person, and I put keto in there because I wanted it higher protein, higher fat, and less carbs, so I could get like a little bit of what to eat, because she was really concerned about that. But yeah, I love eating this way. It's just listening to my body, and I monitor. I use an app. There's lots of them out there to help me just make sure that I'm getting my calories, because that was a problem for me before this program, was I was not eating enough. So ramping it back up and not trying to eat I only get 15 something or 1,600 calories, Jonas. So, but not trying to eat that all in one day, like the first day, that's really hard.
Correct.
And then you feel overwhelmed, and then you start to panic again, and your cortisol goes up. So just knowing that you make your goals, just step it up. Give yourself a couple days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially week 1, get up to your BMR. Just try to, again, just like Lori said, it's really difficult to go, okay, day 1, you're going to feel sick. You're going to feel bloated. Your body's going to go, hold on, what did you just give us? Again, all we're trying to do is add in, we kind of want to eat similar foods. and add in a breakfast. Go ahead, Lori.
Well, yeah. And again, it's just stick with those what we've taught ourselves. And this is my nutritional therapy, is we're eating whole, real food. Stick with the whole, real food, and your body's going to be so much happier.
And here's what I like showing my clients in the office. So they go, okay, well, what can we have? I said, okay, just have a breakfast. Try and have another meal. And if you don't want breakfast and you say, hey, I still want to eat within an 8-hour period, okay, we just have to get enough calories. So it's tough for me to have that, like 2 or 3 large meals in an 8-hour period. I would rather graze a little bit all day to have a breakfast, a snack, a lunch, a snack, a dinner. That to me is a lot easier. Then I don't feel bloated, I don't feel tired. But go ahead.
I think it's all super individual, because I do better having space between my meals so my body can digest. Mm-hmm. And so it's just knowing your body. That's so cool about the system, is that we actually get to relearn what our body wants, and just to listen to it. And like Jonas, what you were saying about that, the silence, being quiet, huge. Just listen to your body.
The human being. So here's what I like to Google for my patients: keto salad. So just kind of like you talked about, Lori. I mean, look at the different colors over here. This is everything that you can have right here. From eggs, a little bit of bacon, if you want turkey bacon, avocados. You can mix and match your veggies. Here's a broccoli salad. All the cobs, you can easily do those. Here's what is that? Is that chicken, or here's a salmon one? Look at the colors of the rainbow that are in there. This is, different ideas that you can have. If you want some olives now, you can put some olives, some poached eggs in there. You can have a lot of fun, healthy foods, beautiful colors now. So now that the body can absorb everything, that's a great summer salad right here, that Greek salad. So just, you can kind of Google some of these to give you ideas. Well, what can I have? What can I eat? Perfect. Here you go. A little taco salad without the shell. Have a ton of it. Have as much as you want of it for the most part. See how your body responds. So that's what we do for the first 3 weeks, is let's add foods, see how the body responds. If you go over that 2 pounds, steak and apple day. Okay, bring it back in. Remember, I always say it's like a dog we just trained. If that dog runs off, hone it back in with a steak and apple day, right? We want that metabolism to stay where it needs to stay. So that's one of my favorite things to do, is keto salads. You have that for lunch, you have that for dinner. That's easy. And then have a little breakfast, or whatever you want that fits within the parameters. You're winning ball games. See how your body responds. Now, be careful with the amounts of cheeses. Let's not go overboard. Oh, well, it's phase 3. I can do this, because I don't want you to do a steak and apple day every other day. So be smart about it. Bree, you finished the protocol. You're in phase 3. How did you finish up? What did you like about it? And moving into phase 3, kind of what's your thought process that you can share with everybody?
So I've tomorrow, well, after I finished my phase 2 of my 30 days, I read in the book to do at least like 3 to 4 days of still eating the way I've been eating. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm on my official 4th day of that. So tomorrow is when I get to incorporate breakfast, which is my favorite meal of the day. So I'm so stoked. I'm just staring at those eggs and that avocado. But yeah, I'm just kind of taking a really kind of laid back approach to it. I definitely understand keto a little, and I do have a keto recipe book, but I'm just going to take it really slow. So I'm just going to incorporate a few little things, for breakfast. I just want to see how my body is with eggs. And then lunch, I still want to kind of keep it simple, add a little, like 1 extra ingredient that I'm allowed to have extra, and kind of add that into my lunch and dinner. And again, see how I feel, and then slowly progress a little more, and just start adding stuff in. But it's really laid back for me. I'm just going to take it, really slow, and I'm really excited to kind of up my portions and see where I feel. But what I love most is just not being bloated. I was like, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to wake up and have this big old tummy from what I ate, the day before. And I don't miss that at all. So I want to keep it. I want to keep the inflammation down, the bloating down. So I really like the diet I'm on, and I want to try and keep that as a lifestyle. And eventually, when I'm out of phase 3 and I'm back in the the real world. I still want to keep this meal plan. Maybe, you know, on my vacation day, have a meal here and there, but at least my body will know what to do at that point. But yeah, I'm excited going into phase 3, just adding a few, you know, cheeses. I'm really excited about the avocado. It was hard. That was rough for me. So I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, this is, you know, almond milk can come back in. Your nut butters can come back in.
Yes.
Your different berries can come back in. So now when you're having different proteins or protein shakes, you know, we can do that. I'm going to answer some of these, and Kevin will kind of finish with you. Lily, you're crushing it. You're almost there. For the options of steak for people that don't eat steak, we've discussed this. We don't really know. If you find something that works, try it. Let us know. I know we talked about that with Wendy Robbins a couple calls ago. So try that. Dr. Kim Norman, steak and apple day is 1 apple. And how much steak? And it's more for dinner, not lunch. Whatever size steak you want. And yes, 1 apple. I would say kind of eat between 3 and 8 p.m. Get it done. Try and eat both of them within the hour, whatever hour you choose. So I don't want you to have like the steak here and then an apple like 4 hours later. Try and eat them within the hour. Whatever size steak you want, whatever cut of steak you want, we can do that. Deb, even decaf coffee. I don't know what you're referring to. I don't know if you're referring to the pH balance chart, but yes, if you are, coffee is coffee, whether it's caffeinated or decaf. Kevin, I know people have asked, when can I bring caffeine back into my protocol? Do you like it in phase 3A or more phase 4 or 3B?
Yeah, I mean, it's you can bring it in right there in the beginning of phase, the first 3 weeks of maintenance. If you're talking coffee, if you're talking sodas, it's obviously going to be the second 3 weeks when sugars and stuff are back on your protocol. But the question of coffee comes up a lot because people think it's the caffeine issue. It's not the caffeine issue. It's actually the entire construct of coffee. How it is made up changes the balance in the body in a negative way that stops your weight loss. And so weight loss is just one aspect of this protocol. And if you really don't care about losing weight at all, then go ahead, drink coffee on the 30 days. But you're going to see most of the time a really negative impact. And so understand that it's not caffeinated versus decaf. And that's what the question was about. There was a question earlier that I don't think you saw that I answered on the Q&A about that. And so, yeah, coffee as a whole, there are some people that do all right with it, but majority of people, it actually stops their weight loss quite a bit. So.
Good deal. Anything else you want to kind of add to land the plane?
Yeah, people on this call, we have all kinds of people on here. If you're just starting the protocol, and I like what Lori said about, you know, eating the healthier stuff at the end. However, I want to talk and preach to everybody out there in the world. Somebody just starting who hasn't had this transformation yet, that would be me saying, I'm not doing this system. I'm not eating that way the rest of my life. It's not going to happen. The me after having experienced this program is I agree with Lori, and I'm like, that is the awesome way to eat. But understand that when you guys talk to people about this, when you're starting this journey, maintenance is designed to get you back to the normal life you're going to live. So if you're a person who's going to incorporate coffee back into your normal life, if you're going to be a person who incorporates sodas back in your normal life, or these other foods that are not going to be healthy for your body, and the soda over time will break your body again. Let's just face it. It's going to be very toxic to your system. And you can choose to do that, and you're going to have consequences for that. Maintenance is designed for you to bring all those foods back in the right time frame so your body can maintain the weight until you feed it enough of those things or feed it in a way that's not healthy for it, and it breaks again. And when it breaks again, the answer is come back 180, reset your body again, and live that way until you break it again, until you get tired of doing that cycle. And then that's where you start looking, and what Lori is talking about is absolutely right. And what Jonas was talking about with those salads to me was a swear word before I did this program. It really was. I'm like, I don't want to even see a salad. Now I actually go to restaurants and look for salads because I enjoy them. I like the way I feel when I'm done eating them. And that's something you will learn over time. But regardless of where you are on the health spectrum, far left of, hey, I just want to be happy and eat whatever, and far right, I want to eat the healthiest I possibly can. 180 is going to address everybody in that whole spectrum, and you get to choose the level you're going to live your life at when you get done, but you have to live that lifestyle in maintenance. You can't eat perfect in maintenance and then expect to go add these things after the fact and not have your body spike in weight and struggle to maintain it. So that's the biggest secret there in maintenance, is how you're going to live the rest of your life. You have to eat those things in maintenance to learn how much you can eat and how much your body can handle. The same with alcohol. People that choose to put alcohol back into their program, their diet, those are things you have to learn. So all those things have to be in moderation. And I use alcohol because everybody already knows in their mind that alcohol automatically comes with moderation in what it does to our bodies and altering the state of the body. And so think of that in terms of the sugars, in terms of the bad fats, in terms of carbohydrates, starches. So if you think about all those things in the same construct you do an alcohol, you're going to see quickly that we eat things way out of balance because we don't have our mind altered in a way that we recognize from eating a bunch of bread or drinking a bunch of sugar drinks. Even though it is having a huge impact, it's not impairing our driving. It's not impairing our cognitive thought as much as we think it is. And so anyways, Jonas, I don't know if that confuses stuff, but that's the piece I want to help everyone understand, especially if you're on this call, just starting or getting ready to start. Understand that it's for everybody and everybody in every phase of life. And the better you choose to treat your body at the end, the better your body will treat you for a very long time. And so that's the secret to this system, is it works for everybody in every phase of their life, and it accommodates every lifestyle when you're done. And that's what I love, because the emotional journey that we're on never stops. Everybody that I've ever talked to, Jonas, in 180, since we've started this, you and I have not heard a single person share their story that hasn't brought up the emotional transformation, but none of them started it for the emotional transformation. They all started it for the number on the scale and the reflection in the mirror. And that's what we love. Like, hey, I'm going to go with that all day long because I know the journey you're going to go on, that's not even going to be important to you as much at the end as the other journey you experience. But nobody's going to start for the, hey, come here, I'm going to take you through an emotional, crazy place in the next 30 days. Never mind, I got enough emotion in my life. But hey, I'm going to drop that scale 25, 30 pounds in 30 days and shrink your body, make you look sexier. I'm all there. And then in the process, we get to educate. That's the beauty of being a coach of the 180 system.
Awesome. I see another question here. How much fluid intake can we have for steak and apple day?
As little as possible. You just don't want to dehydrate yourself. So steak and apple day on maintenance, or an apple day, which is 6 apples. And I will tell you the way I tell the apple day is it's 6 apples morning till night in one day. That's how I do an apple day. Minimal water in that, and minimal water in the steak and apple day. So both of those have minimal water. One is on the protocol and one is on maintenance. So when we go over the 2 pounds.
Deal. All right, y'all. We'll do this call again this coming Monday. I know we were off last Monday for the holiday, but we'll be on again this Monday. So if y'all have people that are starting fat loading this weekend, I did see some people starting phase 1 fat loading. Congratulations for getting started this weekend. Let's get this thing running. For those of y'all that can still make it to San Antonio, the event, again, I believe there's a few tickets still left. We will be there. We're going to celebrate all of you. Upload your before and after pictures to your back office, to the My 180, upload them to Facebook so we can share all your before and afters. We want to celebrate you out there. Lori, I don't know if you've uploaded yours yet from your initial to now, but wow, I'm excited to see that in San Antonio if you haven't shown them already. Maybe the unveiling.
I'm so excited for San Antonio to see everybody and see the family again. I mean, it's been way too long. So
heck yeah, it's our first.
I need redone with people.
Yes, it's our first event in over a year. So get out there. Love y'all so much. We'll see you again Monday. Kevin, thank you so much. Lori, Bree, love y'all. Love the stories. Love y'all's glowing faces and auras on this. Y'all are blinding your cameras right now. Y'all look like very angelic on here. So love it. Y'all have a good Thursday night. We'll see y'all again Monday night at 7 p.m. In 5 minutes, we have Austin Tyson Company discussing how to do this business and make money. So hop on that call, get with the person that got you here, and we'll see y'all soon. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.